Welcome to Be Me with Shari Ware, the podcast where each day is a step towards a better you and where we focus on progress, not perfection. Join me as we embark on a journey of self-improvement and wellness, focusing on being just a little better than we were yesterday. Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Be Me podcast. My name's Shari Ware, I'm your host, and in this episode we are talking about endorphins, how endorphins make you happier and some simple tips to boost your mood naturally. So I found, when I was doing some research, I found a great book on this topic. It's called Habits of a Happy Brain. And let's hope I don't butcher this too much. It was written by Loretta Graziano Bruni. I did do Italian in high school or learn Italian in high school. So hopefully some of that came through. Hopefully we don't have Italians cringing out there. And if I did butcher that, I'm really sorry, but I did my best. She said each happy chemical triggers a different good feeling. Dopamine produces the joy of finding what you seek, the eureka, I got it feeling. Endorphin produces the oblivion that masks pain, often called euphoria. Oxytocin produces the feeling of being safe with others, now called bonding. And serotonin produces the feeling of being respected by others, pride. Now, I could have just cut out the part of that quote that specifically was about endorphins. However, I decided to leave the entire quote in there. If you have caught the last few episodes of the BB podcast, you would have seen or heard that we're doing a Feel Good Hormone series. This is one part of the Feel Good Hormone series. And we have previously done episodes on dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, and now this one, of course, is on endorphins. So I really like that this quote tied all of them together, and I just felt like it gave a different perspective that we didn't already have. So hopefully that's helpful for somebody. I know it definitely was for me, and let's see what we can learn about endorphins. So I like to cover off on certain things. So first of all, we're going to talk about what are endorphins, and then we're going to look at how endorphins impact your life, and then we're going to see how you can boost endorphins naturally. So first of all, what are endorphins? Endorphins are chemicals that are produced by the brain. They act as a pain reliever, a natural pain reliever, or a mood booster. They are part of the body's response to stress or discomfort, and not only do they help you cope, but they also help you feel awesome. So it's endorphins are a really good thing for us. How do they impact? How do endorphins impact our body and our mood? First of all, endorphins interact with the receptors in the brain that reduce pain perception. They also trigger a positive feeling similar to morphine. So it really is, you really get like a natural high, natural mood and happiness lift. When endorphins are released, they can make you feel euphoric and energized, and they give you the stamina to get through physical and emotional stress. So it sounds like an awesome thing to me. Definitely want more of that. So how can we get more endorphins? How can we boost our endorphin levels naturally? Some people might get a bit annoyed at this because it seems to be a recurring theme with all of these hormones. But number one is movement. And I say movement, when I do my research, generally it says exercise. But the way that our brain processes things is that generally when we hear a word, that we have a picture in our mind of what that looks like, or a belief around what that is. And I know for me, exercise doesn't give me the best feeling. It just feels hard to me. Exercise feels hard to me, whereas movement to me feels easier. It feels better. And also I like the fact that movement actually is more of an indication of what it can include to me. That it makes sense in my head anyway. In that, movement can be anything. It can be going for a walk. It can be going up and down your stairs. It can be dancing to your favourite song. It could be gardening if you love gardening. It doesn't have to mean that you're going and doing a session at the gym. It can mean that, but it doesn't have to. So I really like to use the word movement. Anyway, point being that one of the best ways that you can increase your endorphin level is by moving your body. The more you move your body in whatever way, shape, or form that is for you, the more you will boost your endorphin levels. Number 2 is laughter. Laughter, they say, is the best medicine, and one of the reasons why that is actually true, and it's because it raises your endorphin levels. So, watch a funny movie or hang out with your friends and play practical jokes on each other, whatever is going to get you get more laughter into your life. Definitely do that. Number 3, there are some specific foods that naturally help to boost endorphin levels. And that is, number 1, is my favourite, is cacao, dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is allowed. It's definitely a very good thing for you. Obviously, not too much. Too much of anything is not good. But definitely adding some dark chocolate into your life, if you don't already, is very beneficial to your health and your endorphin levels. Citrus fruits is another food that will help to raise your endorphin levels or boost your endorphin levels. Capsicums, chilies, and ginseng. There are more, but I just wanted to list 5. I think that was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 for you. And if you want more, you can go and do some more research, definitely. And the 4th way that I'm going to talk about raising your endorphin levels today is music. Most people, music, they always feel good when they listen to music. If you feel a bit down, you listen to music, it peps you back up. And that's because it is raising your endorphin levels. So that's why that happens. And then if you want to win, then start dancing to your favorite song, and then you've got movement and music, and then you might laugh at yourself because maybe you look a bit funny when you're dancing. But anyway, you get my drift. The more of these things that you can do, the more you're going to raise your endorphin levels. Now, there is a caveat to all of this. Too much of anything, as I said before, can also not be good. So if you have an overproduction of endorphins, and an overproduction of endorphins, particularly from either excessive exercise or pushing through pain barriers, sometimes we might need to. Sometimes life happens. But if you're continuing to excessively exercise and constantly pushing through pain barriers, then you are likely to it's quite possible that you may numb your body's natural pain signals, which could lead to burnout or injuries. So one of the things I say is it's all about balance. So just making sure that you're having a balance of all these things and not taking things to excess. So that's pretty much all we all I have to say for this episode on the topic of endorphins. I will direct you to the corresponding Be Me Bites episode. There is a corresponding edition of Be Me Bites for this episode, I should say. And it's Be Me Bites 27, Feel Good Hormone Series Part 4. There you go. This is Part 4 of the series. How to get high on life and the magic of endorphins. I'd like to direct people there because I generally put extra resources in the written edition that I don't put in the podcast show notes. And also there might be some things that that make it into the podcast that don't make it into the written edition. So I always like to direct people there, even if they go check out the resources that could be helpful for you. And if you haven't already, I will remind you of the ethical bribe that I give to people when you join. If you subscribe, if you become a subscriber of Be Me Bites, you get a free online copy of any one of my books of your choice. And when you subscribe, you get an email that tells you how you can claim that. And so that's it from me for this episode. Until the next episode, keep taking one step at a time, and I'll see you then. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Remember to check out the show notes, and if you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. If you've received value from this podcast, make sure to subscribe, and I'd love you to rate and review the show. Have a fabulous day.